We good, Sam?
Yep, you're live.
All right.
Good evening. I'll call this meeting of the Westfield, Washington Township Board of Zoning Appeals to order for March 8th, 2022. Dane, can you note the presence of a quorum, please?
Ms. Fortier,
Here.
Mr. Morales,
Here.
Mr. Schmitz,
Here.
Mr. McCarty,
Here.
Mr. Buller.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. And we have all had the opportunity to review the minutes of the February 15th, 2022 meeting minutes. If there are any questions, comments, any clarifications necessary, now's the time. Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Mr. McCarty, seconded by Ms. Fortier to approve the minutes of February 15th, 2022. Dane, can you call the roll, please?
Ms. Fortier,
Yes.
Mr. Morales,
Yes.
Mr. Schmitz,
Yes.
Mr. McCarty,
Yes.
Mr. Buller.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. And will you now review the rules and procedures for tonight's hearing?
Yes, for all petitions, tonight's meeting has the following structure. The department will summarize the petition and describe what action, if any, is necessary to be taken. The petitioner will be given up to 15 minutes to present to the board. The president will open a public hearing. Individuals will be given 3 minutes to speak. Those representing a group will be given 5 minutes to speak. Only one member of the group will be given 5 minutes to speak. For efficiency purposes, we ask those representing a group speak first. The public hearing will be closed when all interested members of the audience have had a chance to be heard, and all emails received during the meeting have been provided to board members. The petitioner will then have a chance to respond to comments, and the board will follow with any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the petition. A few comments for BZA members and petitioners. Please do not disrupt the proceedings in any way. If you need to have a private discussion, we ask that you please quietly exit the room. Please silence your devices at this time. If you must answer them, please quietly exit the room. If you are attending in person and wish to speak in regard to a petition scheduled for a public hearing, then please fill out a yellow card. Once the public hearing is opened by the president, then please provide us your yellow card as you approach the podium. If you are not attending in person, comments regarding a petition should be emailed to planners@westfield.in.gov with the petition name or number included in the subject line, and those comments will be forwarded to board members and the petitioner. During your comments, please state your name and address into the microphone for the record. We ask that you not repeat previously stated comments. Your presentation will be timed, and you will be advised when there's approximately 30 seconds remaining. We would like to remind everyone to please speak directly into the microphone so your comments can be put onto the record. Thank you.
Thank you. First item on the agenda is 2202 VS08, 16280 Ambius Circle. Peter and Stacy Miller seeking a variance and development standard to encroach 17 feet into a 30-foot minimum rear yard setback to accommodate a swimming pool and deck in an SF3 cluster district in Countryside subdivision. And that's you, Dane.
Good evening, members of the board. For the record, Dane Crabtree with the Community Development Department. The item before you this evening is a variance of development standard request at 16280 Ambia Circle for an encroachment 17 feet into the 30-foot minimum rear yard setback in the SF3 cluster district to accommodate a swimming pool and deck. This project has received HOA approval. It has been properly noticed and advertised. The department has received no comments. The petitioners are present this evening. They do not plan to make a presentation, but are available for questions if you have any, as am I if there are questions of staff. Thank you.
Thank you. In the absence of a presentation, I will go ahead and open a public hearing at 7:04. Any cards?
We have no cards.
We'll give it a minute to get any electronic communication in. Anyone that is attending virtually that does wish to comment on this, you get an email in very quickly to planners@westfield.in.us or .gov.
.gov.
.gov. I'll
Yeah.
never get it right. Anything, Dane?
We have no digital comments.
And I will close the public hearing at 7:05. Members of the commission, do you have any comments, questions, anything for the petitioner? Actually, the petitioner, you guys, if one of you would step up real quick, just had one quick question for you. Just state your name. We have very few people attending. We're gonna pull you up. We gotta get.
Yeah, absolutely. Come on, Stacy.
Stacy Miller, hi.
And your address is the property address.
Yes.
Okay. The only thing I wanted to clarify is the staff has a recommended condition that the property be developed in substantial compliance with your site plan. So the significance of that is that if anything changes, then this approval would not necessarily be, would be withdrawn. So just want to make sure you know it's contingent on that. So if plans have to change, then let Dane know and go from there. That all makes sense?
Yes, sir.
Great, thanks.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion on the petition.
I'll make a motion to approve 2203 VS 08. Is it 2? Mine says 3.
Oh,
This is 2203.
2203 VS 08
staff
08
was wrong.
at 16280 Ambia Circle. There are 2 recommended conditions that need to be met: that the property be developed in substantial compliance with the site plan in Exhibit 3, and that the petitioner shall record an acknowledgement of this approval with the county recorder's office and return a copy of the recorded instrument to the Economic and Community Development Department.
Second.
Motion by Janine, seconded by Victor to approve 2202 VS 08, subject to the stated staff recommended conditions. Dane, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Morales?
Yes.
Mr. Bowler?
Yes.
Mr. Schmitz?
Yes.
Mr. McCarty?
Yes.
Ms. Fortier?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, and I'll make a motion to adopt staff's findings of fact for the approval of this petition.
I'll second that.
Motion by myself, seconded by Mr. Bowler to adopt staff's findings of fact for the approval of 2203 VS 08. Can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Morales?
Yes.
Mr. Bowler?
Yes.
Mr. Schmitz?
Yes.
Mr. McCarty?
Yes.
Ms. Fortier?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Great. Thanks, Millers. Matter's approved.
Thank
You did a good job up there. That was the whole key. Never would have gotten it done without it. Next item on the agenda, second and final, is 2203 VS 09, 16745 Glen Way, Joseph and Cynthia Mallon seeking a variance of development standard to encroach 7 feet into a 30-foot minimum rear yard setback on an SF2, in an SF2 district in Countryside, or Brookside subdivision. And again, Dane, you are the planner.
Good evening, members of the board. For the record, Dane Crabtree with the Community Development Department. The item before you is a variance of development standard request at 16745 Glen Way to encroach 7 feet into the 30-foot minimum rear yard setback in the SF2 district to accommodate a swimming pool and deck. This project also has received HOA approval and has been properly noticed and advertised. The department has received no comments. The petitioner is present this evening. He does not plan to make a presentation, but is available for questions, as am I if there are questions of staff.
Thank you. I will open, in the absence of a presentation, I'll open the public hearing at 7:09. And did you already say no cards?
Nope, no cards.
No cards. And nothing electronic. Give it a minute. So far, though. We'll give it a minute. Y'all don't, you're welcome to stay, because the good stuff's yet to come, but a lot of times people just leave after their thing's over, so it's up to you. Yeah.
We have prizes.
Door. Okay, you can do that.
Yeah, we're. Competition. We're gonna shut it.
not this hour, no. I think it's, you go straight, it's just dessert and cocktails.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah. Champagne fountain, you know, something like that. You all right?
No digital comments.
I'll close the public hearing at 7:10. And let's see, do we have any questions from members of the board? Questions or comments? Looks like, actually, are you the petitioner?
Good evening, my name is Joseph Mail, I'm the owner of 16745 Glenway and the petitioner.
Great, thanks, Joseph. It looks like you back up to, there's a strip of ground that's owned by the subdivision for power lines back there, so there's nothing really
That's
behind you
correct.
that's affected by.
It's all HOA, common property up to the path and just beyond, and then there's two farms adjacent to it that were included in the notification letter as well.
Okay, great. And as with the last petition, your petition has two recommended conditions from staff. Did you see those before? In the
Yes, I
staff
did.
report? Okay. And just to reiterate that yours, like the petition immediately before you, that the property be developed in substantial compliance with the site plan. So to the extent you'd make any changes, then the approval wouldn't necessarily be active. You'd have to check with Dane for that. So-
Understood,
Okay.
thank you.
Any other questions, concerns, comments?
I know, I just have one other question. What is that, what's next door to you? It's like a little small, what is that?
That is the Brookside Neighborhood Playground. So it's also HOA common area. There's a playground there, and then there's a small gazebo that you have the
Okay.
cursor on right there with a grill and some picnic tables.
Okay, gotcha.
It's one of the reasons
That
we
is
bought the
not a
house. A 5 and a 6-year-old, so we saw the playground right next door to the house, and that's one of the reasons we
That's
purchased the
great.
house.
Huh? That's nice.
You don't have to buy a playground now.
Right?
Yeah.
Saves some money for the pool, because the pool's gonna cost you. Exactly, yeah.
When I was making this map, I had to research it myself too. I was like, what is that? It's
Just a
like a
little
tiny
she
utility
shed.
shed or something is what it looks like, but.
Yeah.
I will entertain a motion on this petition.
I'll make a motion to approve 2203-VS-09, 16745 Glen Way, with the two recommended conditions: that the property be developed in substantial compliance with the site plan, and two, that the petitioner shall record acknowledgement of this approval with the county recorder's office and return a copy of the recorded instrument to the Economic and Community Development Department.
I'll second that.
Motion by Victor, seconded by Jeff, to approve 2203 VS-09, subject to the two stated staff conditions. Dan, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Buller,
Yes.
Mr. Schmitz,
Yes.
Mr. McCarty,
Yes.
Ms. Fortier,
Yes.
Mr. Morales.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, and I'll make a motion to adopt staff's findings of fact for the approval of this petition.
I'll second.
Motion by myself, seconded by Ms. Fortier, to approve or adopt staff's findings of fact for the approval of 2203 VS-09. Dane, can you call the roll?
Mr. Buller,
Yes.
Mr. Schmitz,
Yes.
Mr. McCarty,
Yes.
Ms. Fortier,
Yes.
Mr. Morales.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Joseph, you're approved. That concludes the items of business. For reports and comments, Plan Commission Liaison, Victor?
All right, I said 15 minutes, so I'm going to try to make this quick. First up, we had all public hearing items for last night. No actions taken. The first of which was the ODP and primary plat for Lantern Commons. And just discussion revolving around that was, the deforestation of the trees. Just unfortunately nothing we can do about it. Right now, they are platting the residential portion of the project. And then next was the Woods Robinson Briggs PUD amendment, as well as the Harvest Trail ODP and primary plat. We had a public hearing for both of those combined, and the issues at hand were the setbacks and buffers for the northern half, which is the Harvest Trail for Woods Robinson Briggs. Then they also reduced the frontage and backyards from 25 feet to 20 feet to allow larger homes, lesser density. The home number went down from 410 to 309. And then next up, we had Grand Millennium Center PUD Amendment 2, which is basically just a land swap for the library to have better positioning along Park Street and Westfield Boulevard. Then Chatham Hills PUD Amendment 8, I think if I'm reading the Roman numerals correctly, adding 2 acres for amenities, which is just additional pickleball courts for Chatham Hills. And then Towns at Union was the first time we were seeing it. It is just north of Summit Lawn on the east side of Union. It's Pulte Townhomes. They are currently 6.3 to 6.5 homes per acre with 84 homes total. Along Union, we have front doors facing, and the average home price for the townhomes right now is between 400 and 450,000 with square footage between 2,200 and 2,400 square feet. Biggest issue and concerns was having 3 stories along Union, and then just also the desire for more creativity and more of a unique product within this division. So that is all. Thank you.
Thank you. We're talking about Danny, anything from the department?
Nothing, we will have a meeting next month. Yes.
Oh, do we want to go into the change with electronics, because of the governor's order going?
Oh, yeah. Just rehashing from what was mentioned last night.
Essentially,
Yeah, I don't have anything written down by that.
Yeah, so last Friday, the governor's executive order finally terminated after 23 times of being reenacted, which means we are no longer operating under the governor's executive order for virtual meetings. The policy that y'all adopted last year is now what we will be following. It requires, if you attend virtually, just so you all know, do not wear your pajamas, because for you to vote, you have to be seen and heard.
Okay, that's good.
That's a change.
Thank
So IT is going to update, so you'll be seen here. I don't want you all to be surprised by that. Now, you could opt to block your camera, but then you wouldn't be able to vote. You'd still be able to participate. So
Yeah.
like last night, for example, at Plan Commission, one of the members participated virtually, but there were no votes, so he didn't have to be seen.
I didn't think about that. So you'd have to be up, like, could you turn on the camera during the vote? Or do you have to have it on you the entire time?
The resolution doesn't get into that kind of detail. I would have to think, certainly for voting. But you're in person, they're staring at you now.
Yeah, I guess, but
I think that's the whole point, is they want to,
now that I think about it, doesn't. Yeah, they could just slide out of the way.
yeah. There are others, I mean, there's certain parameters of when you can be virtual and not virtual too, but FYI, we're now under our policy if any of you decide. I don't want you to be surprised by your appearance on camera.
Great, thanks for that explanation, and I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Victor, seconded by Jeff to adjourn. All those in favor, voice vote indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed,